Friday night and you are beautiful. Feeling is magic. I am so lucky to be with you. 'Cause when it's been a rough day and I stare at the wall surrounding me, I let go of my thoughts and I go with you. You're a believer in a life that's less dramatic. You're a believer in a world that's filled with magic. Let's go dancing till the sun comes up again. So many roads, so many avenues. So go where they take us. Such a thrill to ride with you. 'Cause when it's been a rough day and I stare at the wall surrounding me, I let go of my thoughts and I go with you. You're a believer in a life that's less dramatic. You're a believer in a world that's filled with magic, and that's why I love you. Let's go dancing.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now. Good morning, people.
Yeah, good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. As I'm here at the bottom, I gotta adjust to it, but it's okay. You know, it's kind of cute. It's kind of, you know.
Look, I'm not used to being up here.
Right. I'm here. I'm at the bottom. It's a nice triangle though, like an upside down triangle.
It works. It works. But David, I think you could give us a 3-panel shot. I thought I saw that earlier. See if you could give us that. That said, good morning to everyone in the chat rooms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all over. I think I love Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's everybody. Click the share, like, subscribe. We're going to go through a couple of iterations here till we get the look. Good morning, James. DJ exclusive, Rebecca Azor. How's it going? How was y'all Memorial Day?
It was good.
It was good.
I had some I had some really good food. It was like here's the thing. It was like really barbecue. It was barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
It was like the ribs. It was like the potato salad. It was all of that, but it was all drenched and Haitian seasoning. Oh my God, y'all.
It
It was
good.
so good. It was like it was so I want to call him and be like, hey, you got any more food? Like it was so good.
You got any more of that stuff? You got any more of that stuff?
And then we had burgers and the hot dogs. Everything just tasted like my ancestors were like, well done. You came to America, took their food. Well done. It was good. It was good.
I love it. James, how was yours, man? It's a long 3-day weekend, but not long enough, huh?
Man, mine was cool. Was in the streets on the weekend, DJ 2 parties. It was a day party, which was really fun. I turned that out. And then the other party at the evening only lasted for 2 hours. So I was good.
Huh?
It was fun though.
Wait, the whole party was 2 hours.
It was longer than that, but
okay. Never mind. We're gonna keep that off the book. Keep that off the record.
Right.
All right.
No, yeah, I am. But look at this got me looking chocolate and black as hell.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Oh man.
Damn.
So those of you who are watching the video, we have a different format this morning. Our main technical director, Dwayne, is going to be away for about 2 weeks. And so we are being produced by David, who's doing an amazing job. Y'all give some put some lions in the chat for David. Everything looks good. Everything sounds good. We're going to keep on trucking as usual. I had a great time. I put together a grill, and me, y'all know, like when I'm not on.
Did you have the daddy sandals on and the daddy jeans?
I had on everything daddy you can imagine. Look,
because that means the food is about to be.
It was busted.
Delicious.
Listen, the ribs I put on that grill yesterday came out so stinking good. It was like I might have to go get some as soon as the show was over. But no, Rebecca, I did the whole daddy thing. Like I had on because it was a little cold yesterday. I had on my hoodie and everything. I was outside
in the beginning, and then the sun came out
somewhere around 11 o'clock. It said, "Don't forget you in Georgia, boy." That's it got real racist. It got real racist. The sun got racist. You in Georgia, boy.
Don't forget you in Georgia, boy. Why would you say that? I heard when you said it, I heard it like a racist, like the sun is racist.
It was
real racist.
It's oppressive. But I was out there. I had my kid. We all dancing. It was just like the 5 of us. We were all out there dancing to some Isley Brothers. We did a real old school style. We had a good time. I hope everyone watching. I hope your Memorial Day was good and pleasant, and that you got some time to rest. I didn't really even celebrate Memorial. My kids asked me, "What's the holiday?" And I kind of explained it to them in my way, and they were like, "Oh, so the government's making us celebrate."
Like, you done turn your kids into you, little Benjamin Dixon.
That was a summer. They're like, and I said, so basically, it's a day Black folks take off to enjoy time with their family. It's
true. And you know what's crazy, Ben? I thought about that. I actually thought about that yesterday, and it's funny how the Lord works. The holiday, on this day, as more people are liberating their minds, more people are liberating themselves, and they're realizing I'm Black as hell, Bubba, and they're realizing that, and after the protests, after we're standing up to people, in our job spaces and things like that, I thought to myself, wow, all these years, God, all these years we said, I'm going to work because I'm going to get paid time and a half. I'm going to, slave some more. I'm going to take away time from my family that I already don't have. Because I'm here at work all day, giving more time to people I don't like in this cubicle farm. And to my supervisors and my bosses, my managers. I'm giving them all of my time to this building that I hate, that I can only come out of twice for playtime, one for 15 minutes and one for an hour break. And I thought about that. I'm like, geez, we were always in jail, and then they would always give us like an incentive to be in jail a little longer and away from our families and away from our friends. And that is what killed me. I was like, damn, I was 16 years old and they took away Christmas from me.
The devil, what?
They took away because they offered us, as a 16-year-old kid, you're trying to save money to get a cell phone or whatever. You know what I mean? Back then you had to work for your little stuff. So I thought, okay, let me just work on Christmas, and then let me work on January 1st, because then you'll get your little coins, extra. So I thought about that, and then the way that God works, he was like, this year, since y'all behinds are home and y'all have been going through a nice liberation, I'm gonna put you guys. I'm gonna put the Memorial Day for soldiers that y'all done sent out to go fight and things like that and die. We're gonna put the Memorial Day on a day where you guys are forced to remember what you've done, the genocide that you did in your own country against Black people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that was a perfect day for us to memorialize those people who always have been forgotten. So
yes,
I think that was that's the crazy thing about it. Like the history of the Tulsa. First of all, I want to start there. So obviously yesterday and today marked the 100-year anniversary commemoration of the Tulsa Race Massacre. And I want to put an emphasis on massacre because for many years it was just regarded as a Tulsa race riot, but there was no riot. That suggests that there were equal sides in this. At the end of this, some total of at least, they said, estimated up to 300 Black people were killed as a result. Now, this all started in the Greenwood area of Oklahoma, also known as Black Wall Street. It started because of accusations against a young Black man saying that he had assaulted a white young teenager, a white girl. And as he was arrested, taken to the court, a squad of Black men came with their weapons to ensure that he was not lynched. What happened after that? Chaos ensued, and a mob of white people roamed throughout the city and literally just leveled it. You can see images on your screen. There was estimated $1.5 million in property damage in addition to all the lives that were taken. But also, if you adjust that for the year 2020, I think the estimates are somewhere around $30 million worth of property, real estate, and personal property that was destroyed. We really, this part of our history has been so suppressed that it was not taught, even in the state of Oklahoma. It was not a part of the school curriculum until the year 2020, until last year. The Tulsa Race Massacre was not a part of the curriculum until last year. And so, Rebecca, as you were talking about that, it made me think of how hard these systems have worked to ensure that this story is not told. But as it would have it, this happened on Memorial Day weekend. And so now, when my kids ask me what we're celebrating, what are we memorializing? I tell them that we're memorializing all of the people who were killed on Black Wall Street in a massacre here in this country perpetuated by white citizens. And the other thing is, you always hear this happening right now. People telling us that we have to pull ourselves up by our bootstrap. Black people just need to work harder. This was the wealthiest Black community in the nation. It was wealthy even compared to white communities. They had their own airport. They had their own doctors. They had their own attorneys. They had everything. And this was bombed out of existence. Some 10,000 Black people were homeless the day after the race massacre.
Yeah.
Right. Their homes were destroyed. Their businesses were destroyed. Their families, people were murdered. It was complete. It was a complete massacre. And it was being done not just by a mob. It was being committed by people who had been officially deputized by the city. So these white mobsters were running around the city, killing people in the name of the city. And it wasn't until 1996 that there was a commission put in place to investigate and to research what happened. And the results of that commission that came out in 2001, it took them 5 years to do the research. It showed that the city was complicit with what happened, and the commission demanded for reparations to be paid to the descendants of the Tulsa Race Massacre. So you're absolutely right, Rebecca. It's like, we have been told by the government to celebrate Memorial Day, to celebrate our fallen soldiers. Okay, the best way to commemorate our fallen soldiers is to stop sending them off to war.
Come on, somebody.
Yep.
Right now, if we're going to commemorate and remember anything, let's remember what actually happened on Memorial Day to 1921, Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, where they literally destroyed not only Black wealth, not only Black property, but Black lives, all in the name of their white supremacist anger and rage. So
that is literally, to me, that's terrorism. It's
Yeah.
genocide. It's all of what America swears happens to them from other countries. They've done here to people because of the color of our skin. We flourished during that time 100 years ago. They couldn't take it. All right. We moved away from them, went to our own little area, created something good. It was too much for them. So they came there. They bombed it. Are you guys listening? They bombed it. They bombed it.
Yeah.
Killed children, women, fathers, families, all of the above. And for the survivor to be speaking, remember not too long ago, to be speaking and, demanding that, hey, this needs attention, For me, I never knew about it up until maybe I went to FAMU. Shout out to the #1 HBCU in the nation. But I never knew about it until I got there and they were teaching us those things. Do you think that high school is going to tell us about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and how the massacre happened? You think they're going to tell us about the history of it before the massacre?
No.
They don't want us to know that there was a thriving community of Black folks, that it was called the Black Wall Street.
Right.
They don't want us to ever view Black people other than slaves being brought here. So,
it was. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, I didn't find out about it until 2 years ago, last year, 2 years ago, when they talked about it on Watchmen. That was like one of the main premises of the show was, excuse me, her father, I think her father was in Tulsa when everything happened. So that's the only way I found out about it. But come to find out, Tulsa is not the only place. I'm looking for the map of a graphic that I have that has all of the different massacres that have occurred in this country, and it's ridiculous.
It is. Rosewood in I think it was Florida.
Yep.
And
what's the name of that city, Rebecca, that you and I we interviewed the mayor?
Oh, Camilla,
Georgia.
Oh, yep.
There was a massacre. Some 100 people were killed in the same scenario. So these things are not isolated incidents. And if you think about it, Rebecca, it's like it really shows you how this is why they don't want critical race theory taught.
Yeah.
They don't want critical race theory taught because they absolutely cannot afford to allow the real history of this country to be taught, because what they want people to believe is that the economic conditions many Black people find themselves in right now, right? Many Black people, like if you look at the statistics across this country, Black folks are inordinately poor as compared to the rest of the population. We have just different things that are happening in our communities, but the narrative that they're trying to convince us of is that the reason Black people are in the condition that they're in is because we have some kind of inherent moral failing. Like there's something wrong with us. Like we don't know how to work hard. Like we're not out there in these streets hustling, trying to survive this capitalistic system. They don't want that. They don't want the history to be told, because if the history is told, you see a direct line, not only from slavery, like for a second, we can forget about slavery. This was just this was 1921. Right. My grandfather was alive. Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is like 2, 3, maybe 4 generations away from people who are alive right now. And then those race massacres happened all over the country on repeat. Lynching was a systematic way of terrorizing Black lives in this country, ripping apart families. But they didn't just stop with our lives. They took our money.
Yep.
They took our land. They took our property. They took all of the stuff that we worked for. And so, and now they want to say, oh, look at Black people. Y'all just need to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. We did, and y'all bombed it.
Yep.
We did, and you lynched us.
Yep.
We did, and then you redlined us. We did, and then you gave us the prison industrial complex. We did, and then over and over and over again, this country has been complicit and guilty, not complicit, but 100% guilty of destroying Black lives, Black wealth, and they don't want critical race theory taught, because if critical race theory is actually taught, then we will see that this country has a debt to be paid to Black people all over this country. Pay us our reparations, and you'll see some things start to change, but they don't want to do that because they want and they prefer to leave leave black people in the condition that they are because they could always look at us and say we ain't working hard enough. Well, when we did,
exactly, Ben,
it killed us.
That to me is the point, right? Cruelty is the point. So I literally, when I hear all of that, and we sometimes forget ourselves as black people when we talk about, y'all gotta, with all that money that y'all got from X, Y, and Z, flip it, make it do this, because y'all sit around and do all of this. A lot of the communities where black folks live, they aren't able to flip that $20. Okay, they're not able to flip that check, that we got from the government. What, the $1,400? They aren't, because they got to pay bills. And these communities that, like Ben just named, all the reasons and all the ways that they try to keep us down. It's not something that you think people want to be poor. You think that, especially black people, the hard work that our ancestors did to build that Tulsa, Oklahoma environment, to find somewhere they felt safe, a community they felt safe, right? So they sometimes it's like that whole thing of, you know what, they're gonna keep beating us down. Let's just, in order to live and survive, let's just take what they're giving us so that my kids can see another day. My kids can at least go get an education. Even though we'll be in so much debt. Like, let's just take what they're giving us. And it kind of like, and then we start forgetting, wow, that we did have communities that thrived because they don't even want us to tell us that. They don't want us to feel that way. They don't want us to feel empowered. Even right now, when things are happening, right, they try to mask a lot of the situation to make it seem like it never happened. For instance, the young woman in the UK, the activist. Remember how we mentioned it last week? And we were like, they're trying to cover up some things, saying that it wasn't related to her being targeted because she is an activist, a black activist there. And they literally were saying like, oh, it's not related to that. Now news has come out that it was targeted. She was targeted. And as a black woman, of course, they tried to erase it out of the media. When it comes to us, they want to erase it out of the media, the history books, everything. And they don't want to take accountability. They being America, they being colonizers, they being the white people, our oppressors. They don't want to take accountability ever. And when we look at that as it falls into officers who never, it's sad that just recently the word accountability was such a big thing that we had to praise it so much when it came to the officer who didn't get what he really deserved, but we were so ecstatic over accountability. That's how rare it is for white folks who have done so bad, who have blood on their hands in this country. That's how rare it is for them to really be held accountable, because everything that was created here was created to protect them and to make it look like we never tried. We never did anything. We never put forth anything, any effort to live outside of them, outside of their rules, outside of how they had us always in chains. And this is not true. We thrived. We always do. And when I see and hear stuff like that, I can't lie. It empowered the out of me yesterday. I was like, I don't give up. Them soldiers, listen, them same soldiers that y'all send off to go die and the ones that come back that y'all don't take care of. Come on. Stop playing with me.
They don't care. Let's talk about that. That's all the homeless soldiers right now in the United States. Now, listen, we talk about what they do when they're sent abroad to commit these atrocities, because what you saw on the screen with the Tulsa Race Massacre, these are the same things that we're doing in other nations, right? That we're bombing communities out of existence across the globe. Our soldiers are. And then when they come home, we don't even take, if they want us to remember, y'all don't even take, how many soldiers are homeless right now, right? How many soldiers can't get the health care treatment that they need right now? Right? How many soldiers can't get the mental health that they need now because as a result of what they had to do in the name of this empire? Right. So all that, but do me a favor, David. I think you said you had the image. This is the image from James that you put up, and just throw it up there. That's fine. However it comes up on the screen, it's fine. Look, I want y'all to just look at all these. Tulsa 1921, Springfield 1908. You have Chicago 1919. You had Camilla, Georgia 1868. but I want y'all to look right above.
Camilla, Georgia.
Yeah.
Ben. It's so crazy, right? With Camilla, right? And I mean, I see all the other ones, and we can throw that up again in a second. But to mention Camilla, we broke a story out of Camilla, Georgia, with the mayor, and it's crazy because we broke the story 2017 about him, and people were saying, like, you know, the way that they tried to move that story and make it seem
the segregated cemeteries. That's
it
what
was a segregated cemetery. Not only that, the mayor couldn't get the keys.
Right.
The mayor could not get the keys to his own office.
Right.
Wow.
The officers and the officers there, even though the place at the time then was predominantly, Camilla, Georgia was predominantly black. The officers were not. Every time they got it listen,
that's how it goes. Oh yeah.
Every time they got an application on their desk, they would bypass the black person in a predominantly black town. But when the mayor couldn't get the keys to his own office there, and they thought that, and for years, I think he took seat in 2012, I believe, and we were in 2017. This man was still fighting for those damn keys. You guys are like, is this registering with you guys?
Mayor Rufus Davis.
Rufus Davis, man, and we broke the story.
The blackest name I heard.
Rufus.
But we broke that story, but the history to know that they too were once a thriving community and were bombed, and you know, the people there have to live a certain kind of way because the few white folks that came and took over and took positions. Yeah. You know, like I don't understand.
Well, that's how they do. That's because you saw the same thing in Ferguson, Missouri, right? Where they killed Michael Brown, right? You saw where it was a predominantly black city that had complete control over it by white citizens, right? Not even white citizens, like they were just white people who lived close enough to get elected, but they didn't live, and they were not representative of the communities that they governed over. And you see in those kind of situations, you see the city does things like it funded its entire operations off the poverty of the black people in that community. Yeah. We saw that in Ferguson. We saw it in Camilla. We see it across the country on a regular basis. David, pull back up on the screen that image. I just want to show y'all just one that that's going to mess you up. Charleston, South Carolina, 2015. That was a race massacre. That was Dylan Roof going into Mother Emanuel AME. You can take it down, church, and killing 9 black people who were there
2015
who were there in Bible study. So like I really don't have much time or bandwidth or concern for all of these bad faith actors who are telling us that that black folks are just complaining in this country. Right. Because this country has a history of not only killing us in the past, but in the present, right? We're also just 1 year away from all the protests from the George Floyd murder and all the people who have been killed subsequently after that. So all these people who are trying to tell us to just, this is the history, let it go and forget about it. No, how about we forget about all the things you tell us that we need to be concerned about, that we need to remember? Memorialize what? Memorialize all the soldiers that you sent over there to get killed and to kill in the name of capitalism. Memorialize all the soldiers that you sent over there to bomb and rape and all the things that they do that happens in war. And then you want us to remember that, but not remember what this country did to us.
How about those award shows that, you know, will memorialize people and things like that? How about the musicians that died around those times that y'all murdered, and like the Grammys? And you know, go ahead and throw their names up on the screen. Can you remember them? No, because you guys didn't even see them as people. You guys didn't even see them as humans. You guys didn't see them as anything that mattered. That's why when we say Black Lives Matter, this is why. Because you guys, the history and how y'all roll is because Black lives didn't matter. And when I call out all the people who have the blood on their hands, that's who I'm calling out. So the people in the comment section right now, Roller Dragon,
stay out of comment section.
Don't feel no. I'm saying don't feel any type of way. It's not you. You're here because you want to understand. You want to know.
Right.
But but the ones that have, and it probably was your ancestors, but it's not you. And I get that. You're here because you want to make a change. And that's what's important. You're not like the rest. So when I do call out people, it ain't true that once your heart is in a good place, it's those people. It's the people who still today are walking in that same light. We're still fighting. 1868, Camilla, 1868. We are in 2021. 2021, and the first year that America really got an opportunity to memorialize Tulsa as a whole.
Yeah.
And learn.
And Camilla not even on the radar
that's
yet.
Crazy.
Yep. Camilla's not even on
the radar for real. Because first time I had ever heard about Camilla was when we
did
the
covered
story
it
with Rufus Davis. Yeah.
That's it. And he was so excited that our little channel covered.
Yeah. Because nobody else was. Nobody else was.
And see, now I have to go look and see because I'm not familiar myself. Like when I saw that map, and it's just like, yo, I'm the clip. I didn't realize all this shit was going on.
Yeah.
Like now I'm about to go line by line and research all of this because it makes no sense.
No, it is. There's history that is not told, and it's not told because they don't want history. The oppressors never want history to be told by the oppressed. Never. Because then America gets then they get to sing and they get to sing their I'm proud to be American. They get to sing the Star Spangled Banner and they get to salute.
It was fireworks going off yesterday
all night long. But if history was ever told by the people who have been on the receiving end of American empire, America's white supremacy, and America's exploitation, then the history would be totally different. You would not be out there singing God bless America. You'd be doing like Jeremiah Wright said, God damn America. That's what you would have to say as you look at the history of this country, but they don't want to do that because what they want is, and see, here's the other thing. People like to pretend as if we recognizing the real history of this country, that means we hate this country or that we want to destroy this country. Now, there's plenty of people who do want to destroy this country. Hey, more power to you. What it means, though, is we cannot continue doing the same things or else this country is going to destroy its own damn self.
Yes.
Y'all keep playing these games. You ain't got to worry about nobody trying to overthrow this country. The country going to destroy itself because we're not even being true about what's happened in the past and what's happening currently. And so for those of us who are pointing these things out, we're saying, damn, no, change it. Change what we're doing. Stop doing what we're doing. Stop carrying out these wars in the name of oil and for the name of capitalism and the name of exploitation. Stop doing these things, but y'all keep wanting to do it because it makes a whole group of people rich and it makes a whole lot of people happy. They get to get their money off of the weapons industry. They get to get their money off the military industrial complex. They get to get all these things and they sitting back nice and rich and wealthy while poor people are going over there doing their dirty work, killing and getting killed. And while white supremacy here at home is killing it's obliterating an entire generation of people to having the ability and the understanding of what this country really is. White supremacy at the core of this country is nothing more than a revisionist system that is erasing history. It is literally erasing the history underneath us because as we put that map on the screen, there's a whole generation of folks who ain't never heard of none of those massacres.
None of them.
None of us. And it's funny because if we look down, and I just mentioned Camilla being 1868, right? It's crazy. I'm looking in the comment section again, and I'm learning stuff. So Black people, this is from Courtney, the SLP. She stated that Black people started the first Memorial Day in 1868.
That's right.
And Camilla, they don't the whole massacre. And in 1868, they started the first Memorial Day. Why they killing folks, white folks killing folks. And then they said it's called Decoration Day, which of course at our university, we did that kind of thing as well. It was to commemorate the Black soldiers after the Civil War, right? And look, Memorial Day in America, even though we done started it, colonized and created to be something else, we never even to a day to memorialize ourselves.
They colonized the holiday.
That's what I'm saying. How you gonna pull it, took it away, and I'm proud to be an American? Like nobody has time. Like nobody. I'm so grateful that, and it's not that I'm woke or anything like that. I'm just so grateful to be free. Or get to the place that I can be free, because once I'm out of corporate, I'm gonna be free. But I am excited that my mind is in a place where I feel liberated about my Blackness. I
Yeah.
feel liberated about my culture, my heritage, who I am. Like, I used to have to be such a shell, but yesterday I was like, I'm going to remember and I'm going to learn more about Tulsa, Oklahoma. I want to know their history. I want to know how those people lived and how they thrived and how they looked. And I want to search for pictures and I want to feel
that connection.
See,
if they're robbing us, they and we got a whole lot of more. We're just getting started. This is just the
we're
first
just
story. First
Okay.
story. We got a whole lot more to go. But that said, it is a disconnect. They're severing us from our history again.
Mm-hmm.
They severed us from our history when they stole us from the continent that we were born with, our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
They knew the power of disconnecting us from our language, and they disconnected us from our history. And so we were a people in this country who had a rich history, but we had to wait years to be able to rediscover it through HBCUs and through all of the Black scholars and all the people who did the research over the last couple centuries of this country. We had to piece together what it was to be Black. We had to piece it together from scratch because the white supremacist system had completely obliterated it. What do you think they're doing right now in this fight against critical race theory? They're trying to make sure that we cannot weave together that cohesive narrative that shows not only do we have a rich heritage as Black people that goes well beyond the founding of this country, but we also have a rich heritage in that we have survived this white supremacist system that was designed to destroy us. And so just like they wanted to keep us removed from our history as Africans who were enslaved, they want to keep us removed from our histories as African Americans who have survived that enslavement and survived the white supremacy. Listen, I ain't got time for this white supremacy mess today, man. It's a whole nother generation, y'all.
Okay, and y'all don't got to start it and the reason why I feel like it doesn't matter how long we talk about this particular thing is because all of our lives we were given a racist history.
Absolutely.
We were given that so much. So anytime that we have the opportunity to talk some real history and talk about a time where Black people were thriving so beautifully and white folks couldn't stand it and just demolished it.
Jealousy. What you think? Think about 1921 Tulsa. I don't mean to cut you off, Becca. I'll shut up. Think about 1921 Tulsa. You got Black doctors, you got black lawyers, and you got one Black guy who owned an airplane. And you some Bama in the backwoods of Tulsa. Three of them. Knowing you need that Black dentist whose dentist offers you, knowing you need somebody to go in there and fix them raggedy ass teeth, but instead you let your jealousy get in there, mixed with a little bit of white supremacy, and you end up with the Tulsa Race Massacre, with estimated up to 300 people killed because of that hatred.
That's it. Look, that's it. Because hey,
right.
That's it.
No. Put that in my shana.
Hey,
messing around
right in my shana.
So man, listen, y'all better. Listen. I'm gonna stay in my house today. Run up on some of these backwoods Georgia Trump supporters, like make America great again. All right.
We'll make it great again.
We're gonna make it great.
We're gonna make it great again without you.
Make the world Black again. How about that? Make the world Black again. How about that? Speaking
of outside. How about that? All right.
Listen, real quick. I want y'all to see. I want you to understand that this deeply rooted violence exists in this country right now today. It hasn't gone anywhere. And there is a small but very vocal group of people who think that we should not pay attention to what happened on January 6th and that we should dismiss what happened on January 6th. But does anybody in their right mind think that there is a large step from what happened on January 6th to the type of violence that we've seen throughout American history, including the Tulsa Race Massacre? Do you think that type of group that gathered on the steps of the Capitol on January 6th are not prone to actually acting out on the violence? I mean, they took nooses. They took a noose to the Capitol in order to demonstrate that they wanted to execute Vice President, Mike Pence at the time. Right. So there's not a disconnect. There's not a large step between the violence that we saw on January 6th and a full-blown massacre, because that is what's driving them. That is what's in their blood. But there's people who think that we don't need to research it, that we don't need to have a commission, that we don't need to investigate it. And I want to play this next clip. And this is a clip of former General Michael Flynn, who was a former national security advisor for Donald Trump. And he only lasted for about 2 weeks. But since then, he has turned out to be a very serious threat in this country. Listen to this clip as he's asked about the coup, the military coup that's taking place right now in Myanmar, and asked whether or not this should happen here in this country. And I want you to think about this in context of what we saw on January 6th. And this is a former general, former national security advisor for Donald Trump, and a very influential Republican to this day, saying that the type of coup that we see in Myanmar right now is something that could and should happen in this country. Take a look.
I'm a simple Marine. I want to know why what happened in Myanmar can't happen here.
Myanmar.
You know, yeah, no reason. I mean, it should happen here. No reason. But that's right. One more.
No reason. And he said it should happen. Did y'all hear this guy?
Like,
No
did he
reason.
really just ask that question?
He asked the question, why can't it happen here? This is directly connected to January 6th. They wanted to overthrow the government on January 6th because their leader, Donald Trump, did not win. And now they're being asked, oh, well, should we could have a coup here like we had? And this goes right in step with the sentiments and the intentions and the desire of this faction of American life, the right wing, conservatives, white supremacy. They are willing to overthrow the government in order to get their way when they can't win at the voting booth. Now, I want to play this next clip. This is Rocano. He's been on our show before, but he's talking about in this clip the fact that there will be a January 6th commission. We will investigate what's going on, even though senators on the Republican side of the aisle refuse to allow this commission to be a bipartisan commission as set up by the House of Representatives. That doesn't mean that there will not be an investigation. Take a listen into Rocano.
Wrong. I thought that the defeat of Trump would mean the beginning of the end of Trumpism. The Republican Party is more of a Trump party today than when Trump was in office. I didn't expect McConnell to deliver the votes. This is why we need to eliminate the filibuster. So the Speaker wanted it to be bipartisan despite it politically hurting Democrats. But they didn't go along with that. So now what we're going to have is a select committee that will have Republicans on it still, but we're going to have the power to subpoena, and we will get the facts. But this is not disappearing in any way. I mean, there's going to be a select committee. There will be an investigation. So I don't really, that's the thing. It's not even that the Republicans are making some rational choice that somehow now this won't be in the news and that they
that's a good point.
It's pure pandering to Trump and the base. That Trump's against the commission, they need to be against the commission. I mean, they're not even a rational actor in terms of politics and their self-interest, and that's what actually makes it so dangerous.
They are so far gone, is what he's saying, that they're not even doing what's in there. They're so committed to Donald Trump that they're not doing what's in their own personal best interest. They're going to cater to Donald Trump all the way to their own destruction. But more importantly than that, I need people to understand what happened. And Rebecca, you say it like this all the time. It wasn't just an insurrection. It was a terrorist attack. It was an act of domestic terrorism. And I personally do not feel like there are that many steps between what we saw on January 6th and that same crowd getting together and going out and committing acts of racial terror like we've seen throughout this country's history as recent as as recent as Dylan Roof. Like, we see this all the time in this country's history. So we need to investigate it. And we need to get to the bottom of it, because not only are they willing to kill individual Black people, but they're willing to overthrow this entire democracy because they couldn't get their way with Donald Trump.
Yeah. All of that. I say that specifically because, as far as not calling it that, because they label everything else, right? Oh my God, that was a terrorist attack. That was this, that was that. They will label it that. But when it comes to them, and it's, you know, domestic, it's them doing it on their own land, to their own people, but they won't label it that. Insurrection is a word. And this is why I was bothered with it, even though that's what happened. And insurrection is a word to me that's prim and proper. Not many people know the damn word. But when we say terrorists, what do they associate that with? They associate that with brown people who come from the Middle East.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, hold the mirror up to yourself. And what I'm going to do is call you guys what you are. And you guys are terrorists, white terrorists. Okay. Yeah. So that's why. And what we're looking at here are, look at them. When I see any hats, pickup trucks, you know, people that are the man can't even pronounce Myanmar. What did he say?
Minimum.
He didn't even get it right. And he's strong and wrong.
He said
got one tooth just in the front. He's the one that, you know, calls us the strong ER. You know, he's the one that looks at brown people and tells them, "You better go back to your country right now." Yeah. He's the one that fetishizes.
Wait. How his face do, Rebecca?
You better go back to your country. Look, spit all down this side. The tooth is shaky, so it's flipping every time he talks. It got about a few more sentences before it just leaves.
Wow. See the name of the places for God and country.
We know,
not Myanmar. He said Myanmar.
Myanmar. It's a Myanmar.
What happened in Mortimer? Why can't what happened in Mortimer?
Mortimer. Yeah, listen, it be those people that's asking the questions, right? And people on stage know that man said it wrong, but you know what they did?
They
continue to speak. Yeah, they.
Simple
Why
Marine.
not?
I want to know why.
It needs to happen
Right
right
in
here.
Myanmar.
Sweetie, Myanmar.
Oh man,
and it's forgotten country, bro. Just like the name of the
whole
event
title
itself.
of the thing. Yeah,
it's proud to be an American.
Hey, you know what? When people see that, they should feel like, David, pull it up again, and run it on mute. But like, forgotten country, that translates into, oh, we'll come and bomb you out of existence if you're around country. Forgotten country means
forgotten country is Dylan Roof.
Forgotten country,
yes, Rebecca,
was the Camilla Race Massacre, was the Tulsa Race Massacre. Keep going. I thought you were gonna keep
Rosewood, Ocoee. What?
Myanmar.
We had a rhythm going.
Yeah, I thought, you know, we learned them too, Ben. Look, they left us out of that history. They ain't let us know none of it, so we learned as we go.
Listen, I did not, honestly, high key, I didn't learn about Tulsa Race Massacre until graduate school.
Yeah,
I was in graduate school before I learned about it. And so anyway, but the point is that there's a thread. Slide that video a little bit past that dark screen. Yeah, there's a thread that comes from that mindset of forgotten country, because that translates into white supremacy.
Yeah,
that translates into imperialism. That translates into, we will bomb you out of existence if you don't give us what we need from you, if you don't give us your oil, or if you don't open up your markets to our cheap goods. Like that forgotten country, exactly what you see on this screen. There's a direct threat, not only here domestically, but abroad. And it's rooted in, it's those folks. Listen, it's the same folks who were on the Capitol steps on January 6th. If you don't like what's happening in this country, then we need to investigate what happened on January 6th. If you don't like America, what America does abroad, start with January, because these are the people who absolutely are a part of all of the things that happened in this country since the founding of this country. There's a direct connection from the white supremacist terror of the Tulsa Race Massacre that is showing up right here on January 6th on the Capitol steps. And I'm sorry, we got to investigate it, and we got to get to the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
One more story before we take a quick break. And we still in this pandemic now. Truth be told, I got a little you can pull them back up on the screen, David, because I'm not gonna be too serious just yet. I was saying that over the weekend, man, I actually went into a couple of stores. So I have
come on, Ben.
Come on, Ben.
I'm getting one step closer. Oh, and we had a really great time at our church this weekend. Like this is our first time having church service in a year and a half, but we were outdoors.
You went to church? I'm so
it was outdoors.
jealous.
Yeah,
No,
it
but
was great.
I'm so jealous. Like, I'm ready to go back to church too.
It
And-
was great.
Yeah.
It was so good to see so many people. And what I loved about it is, like, wearing a mask. I don't care what anybody says at this point. It is one, it protects people. Look at how many cases of the flu, like the amount of people who caught the flu dropped dramatically this year because people have been wearing masks, right? Now, for people who are outside, do you have to wear a mask? Possibly not. The CDC is saying no. If you have the vaccine, do you have to wear the mask? Possibly not. The science is saying you're good, right? That said, there's still so many people out there who refuse to get this vaccine that it is more important for us to actually continue the culture of wearing masks than it is for all of the symbolism, all these people around here who are screaming, I don't want to get a vaccine. I don't want all those things. Putting that aside, I absolutely loved when I went to that service on Sunday, Rebecca and James, we were outdoors. And I know most of the people were vaccinated, but everybody had on a mask. And it was a sign of solidarity to say that we're in this together, that we're still in this, and that we're trying to come out of it. There's a lot of effing morons who are like, oh, you're wearing a mask, there's something wrong with you. No, my dude, 591,265 people have been confirmed dead of coronavirus. And you want us to feel silly about wearing masks? What the absolute hell is wrong with your simple mind? That said, I want to put the simplest of simple minds on the screen real quick. Ted Cruz, who is trying to make it seem as though who's making the case that there should be legislation that protects people who refuse to get the vaccine. He wants people to be able to refuse to get the vaccine and not be held accountable for it, particularly in jobs that require that you get the vaccine to be able to work in that job. Let's take a listen in to this really simple-minded moron.
Worried that people will be discriminated against based on whether or not they've had the vaccine.
Look, that's exactly right. Listen, I think vaccines are terrific. I've had the vaccine myself. I think it's given us a lot of freedom. But I think there's a real potential for government overreach. And I don't believe anyone should be forced to take the vaccine. It should be your personal choice. You should make the choice based on your health, based on the decisions you want. And so I've introduced this week legislation that would, number one, prohibit any federal vaccine passport, prohibit the Biden administration from doing anything to mandate vaccines, but it also prohibits discrimination in employment. We're seeing some places where employers are saying, if you're not vaccinated, you're fired, and that ought to be illegal. Your health decisions are yours to make, and it shouldn't be your boss, it shouldn't be the government, it shouldn't be anyone else forcing you to make those decisions.
Senator, we have heard from Joe Biden things like, we're not going to require a vaccine passport at this point. Is this something that could actually wind up passing with bipartisan support?
I hope so, and we'll see. I mean, this is a very divided Congress, so bipartisan support is elusive these days. But Joe Biden has said the federal government is not going to require a vaccine passport. And so if he believes that, if Democrats believe that, they ought to be able to support this bill. This bill builds on existing civil rights laws, and it simply adds your health decision of whether or not to get this vaccine to the protected classes that cannot be discriminated against. Right. It also ensures privacy. It ensures that your medical privacy is protected, that you can't be forced to disclose information against your will.
I listened to two parts in there. Two things. He's adding this he's built, quote unquote, building on top of civil rights legislation. So they're trying to make it a matter of civil rights, whether or not you get vaccinated. The second thing in that, which is total bullshit. The second thing is he's trying to declare that it's a matter of privacy and that it's a part of your medical privacy. When is Ted Cruz, you know what, let me do that, but for women who want the right to choose. You talk about privacy. That's literally what Roe versus Wade was.
Get out of my ovaries. Get off my eggs.
Rebecca.
Get off of it. Get out of my vagina. Like, it's mine.
You want privacy. Privacy for the vaccine, but not for your vagina.
So, but here's the thing. It's funny because I see it this way. I feel like if people don't want to be vaccinated for whatever reason, just at least follow everything, wear your mask, quarantine. Like you still got to follow those protocols as if it was the beginning of COVID, just to make sure. Right. But at the same time, like, I don't feel people should be forced to get the vaccine. I do think people should be encouraged to just get the damn vaccine. Go on. It's free. Go on and get it. But the way that they frame it here is as if, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. We don't even are we even in America anymore? Is this even they are forcing us. And is it even a thing, Ted? Can you, Governor Cruz, can you let us know if Joe Biden actually makes this a thing? What is America going to really look like? Is there, and here's Ted, I mean, it's a question of bipartisanship, and we don't even have that anymore. Bipartisanship is not even a thing anymore. When was it a thing? Whose party?
Not in my lifetime.
Whose party was the real issue when it came to bipartisanship?
Exactly.
Ted, have a seat, sir. Look at you. He looks like a joke. How can we take him seriously?
Cruz looks like Eddie Monster. I wish we had that. Every time I see
don't disrespect Eddie Monster. Look, put some respect on Eddie Monster. This man, to me, is giving. How can we take him seriously? And it's so funny how we work as Americans. Like I can't forget what he did to his own damn state.
Yeah.
I can't forget that he threw his daughter under the bus.
All the way under the bus.
I can't forget nothing.
Wait. You gotta remind the audience.
Parking lot.
You gotta
with a black person in one water, in one case of water. Nobody in that parking lot.
Rebecca, I get the joke. You gotta remind the people, because obviously you're talking about the deep freeze that happened in February when Senator Ted Cruz jumped on a plane and went to Cancun, Mexico, and then he flew back and blamed his daughter. And then when he blamed his daughter, he came back and pretended like he was handing out water and handed out like one thing of Aquafina to one person, and they posted it like
the person happened to be a person of color.
His publicist went to the grocery store and got that case of Aquafina and said,
one case of Aquafina
to this black man that's gonna pull up real quick. Okay.
Oh,
black folks, Aquafina.
What the hell?
Oh man. Listen, shout out to everyone who's sending these super chats. We're going to get to as many as we can, but we have a whole new production flow today, and so we are a little bit behind. We may not be able to read all your super chats, but y'all are cracking me up in the chat room as well. But he came. Listen, James, you said his publicist went to the local Publix. He said, "Run down to Publix."
Black people might like Aquafina. Black people might like Aquafina.
Yeah, get the Aquafina one.
He wouldn't even get
Dasani. It's too expensive.
Yeah, don't even get Dasani, man.
Si se puede. Or whatever those Mexicans say.
The publicist called back, said, Sir, all they have is the Fiji water. Fiji water? I'm giving no Negroes no Fiji.
They don't deserve
Aquafina.
Just get the purified water. That's $3.99 a case.
We're in Texas. Those people no, we're not giving any black person, a Mexican, anything other than Aquafina. They never had that.
And honestly, I don't even know if it was Aquafina. It might have been whatever it was.
It could have been any other water. It could have been just like a nameless.
He got the store brand. He couldn't even get us Aquafina. He got one. It was one or two cases that he literally he did a photo op with one case and said he did something.
And then he did it like it was like a camera, like a little camera phone, just like.
Am my shot good? Hey, slide over to your right a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right, now act like you're giving it to. Okay, there you go. Great.
The case is not in the shot.
Do I look like I?
No, Senator Cruz. No, bring the case into the shot a little bit more.
Bring it. Yeah.
Right. Now, set it up, and there you go. Yeah, post that on social media.
So here, so they can see the brand.
It wasn't no Versace. No Louis Vuitton. It wasn't no Louis Vuitton.
No. So they can see that. That's what he would do, though. That's what he's kind of like. Do I look like I feel for the people?
No.
That is it.
I told you. God damn it, David.
Now put some respect on Eddie Monster, though. Put some respect on Eddie Monster.
David in the background hustling. He said I might not be Dwayne, but watch what I can do.
He's like, I can work, damn it.
He said he's in the background like,
For the listening audience, David just put up. I guess that's Eddie Buster. He put up the picture of Ted Cruz next to Eddie Buster. Oh my God! All right, I keep saying one more story, but I say let's do this one more story, and then we're gonna go to the after party. Because this last story really ticks me off, and I think a lot of people need to be really aware of what's happening with this. The Biden administration is seeking to dismiss all of the lawsuits that were levied against Donald Trump as a result of him clearing out the park with flashbangs and the military during the George Floyd protests. The Guardian is reporting that lawsuits filed by protesters who were forcibly removed from a park near the White House before the photo op for Donald Trump last June should be dismissed because the new administration is, quote, not likely to repeat such behavior. Now, I want us to play the clip because it was 1 year ago today, June 1st, in Lafayette Square outside the White House. Law enforcement officers forced protesters back, firing smoke bombs and pepper balls. After the park was cleared, Trump, flanked by officials, walked to a church and stood holding a Bible. And as a result, many lawsuits were filed by the ACLU, but now the Biden administration is seeking to dismiss all of them. Let's take a look at what happened so we could jog your memory.
What the hell?
And here comes Donald Trump.
Oh, F-boy.
With Attorney William Barr, you got military officials, and he did that.
Your thoughts right now?
He did that to go over here and take this photo op.
With the Bible. Look. There you go again. There you go. There you go. I can't stand this man.
Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. It's a Bible.
We have a great country. That's my thought.
See, that's what I think.
What verse is your favorite verse?
2 Corinthians.
Look, Jesus wept.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So this is why we'll get to Trump in a second. I think people need to be aware that the Biden administration, they are the ones who are seeking to dismiss these charges. Again, the Guardian reported the ACLU sued on behalf of individuals and on behalf of Black Lives Matter, arguing that Trump, former Attorney General William Barr, and others unlawfully conspired to violate the protesters' rights. Now, these are the arguments. Listen to these arguments that they just had in court. And this was just this past Friday. The protesters' lawyers, and this is from the Guardian, the protesters' lawyers argued that it is important to get to the bottom of how the officials responded to what happened. Why did it happen? Was there a curfew? The park was cleared before the curfew. Was it to stop violence? The Attorney General himself has said that there was no violence there that day. This is the argument coming from the protesters who filed the lawsuit. Now, lawyers for the administration and the former official said that their clients had immunity because they were performing necessary functions to secure a space for the president. The judge asked why it would be unreasonable to clear the park for the president, noting that the large crowd would present a security risk. This is a quote. To me, it seems quite obvious that you need to clear from the judge. You need to clear the square so that he needs to walk through before he reaches the church. Why is that not reasonable for the defendants, talking about Donald Trump, to do? The problem is that they did it in a manner that violated the rights of the protesters. And the fact that the Biden administration is now doing the dirty work of getting this dismissed so that Trump and Attorney General Barr cannot be held liable, that just shows me that this system protects itself even against the big bad boogeyman of Donald Trump. This is just like Barack Obama not prosecuting or not allowing the prosecution of George W. Bush for not only getting us into a war with lies and propaganda talking about weapons of mass destruction, but for all the other things that the Bush administration did. Barack Obama came in and they were like, okay, well, we're not going to prosecute them. Now we have this issue of Donald Trump literally violating the rights of protesters in order to go do a photo op. And the Biden administration is like, no,
they have immunity because they were carrying out essential functions. Is it an essential function for you to gas American citizens? Because that's what they're saying to me. And this is just a consistent theme from administration to administration that says we're going to protect the person before us because they don't want to be held accountable when the next president comes in, and maybe that next president is going to try to hold them accountable. So it's one big club of them protecting themselves. And now Joe Biden is actively protecting Donald Trump.
The Bible's upside down. It's just all wrong. We know the Holy Bible is going to be on the front of the Bible. I ain't never see a Bible labelless like that. So was it the Bible that he was holding? Like he don't even know nothing. He don't know. They probably handed him a book. Okay, a book that looked like it could be the Bible because they was like, "Does anybody have a Bible?" That's why they said, "So whose Bible is that?" He said, "A Bible." Yeah, I was like, Ben, go ahead, move your mouth like me. But we were strong and wrong. I have to go back and make sure that we correct it. We were strong and wrong. It is Grandpa Munster. That Ted
Grandpa
Cruz looks like not the son. They was
It's
like,
not
hey, why
Eddie
y'all
Munster?
dragging the son? It was the grandpa.
So Ted Cruz looked like Grandpa Munster.
Yeah,
Okay,
put some respect on all of the family of the Munsters. Like Ted Cruz. We ain't.
Yeah. I'm trying to talk about the way that one president is complicit with the previous president, and
we
it's a
have to go
consistent
back.
theme. And then you talk about, but you're right. We were wrong. I keep saying
Eddie
Munster is not. I don't even know any of the other monsters, but it was Grandpa. I didn't know there was a Grandpa Munster.
Yeah, I forgot about Grandpa.
That's what we just saw. He looks familiar, so that's what Ben's funny. But anywho, but yes, Donald Trump.
I know. I just know he looked like somebody.
Like that is spot on, like face and everything. What the hell?
But somebody looks more pleasant, but one thing looks more pleasant than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it ain't Ted Cruz.
And it ain't.
But no, back to this Donald Trump situation.
He needs his ass sued.
He does. And those people deserve. They deserve every
justice.
penny, dollar, whatever they deserve justice. And they deserve.
Video is wild.
Yeah, they were being shot at for this man to walk in front of a church that he probably would never go to.
Right, never.
And hold the Bible that he doesn't even know. He literally, the Lord, God works in mysterious ways. God said you will not be holding something that says the Holy Bible. It would not be presented. It would not be presented on camera. That is the word. It will not be presented in such.
The reporter was like, "Is that your Bible?" He's like, "It's a Bible."
No, he said it's a Bible. Like, how do you? He's always so clever with his comebacks. He's always fast. He always has something to say. That's why he makes for good TV. But look at him.
Like
he's just.
First of all, you take a picture in front of a boarded up church.
He looks like a vagina, but a vagina is more prettier and it's flowery. Like it's nice, but he looks like
an anus.
Yeah, he looks like an anus.
An anus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never get anywhere.
I don't like his face. Bubba, I don't like his face.
I don't like
it at all.
He had one of them faces just.
I just want to punch him in it.
Yeah, he's right. He is up there with Tuckums.
Yeah.
What's the other black man? Daniel Cameron. He's up there.
Oh no, I don't like his head. It's a light bulb. I don't like his head.
Oh man, James, I don't know how many of these because we got a whole bunch of them. I don't know how many of them you want to read.
Oh my Jesus. Let's see.
Oh, they want to know about my shirt. Wait, they want to know about my shirt. My shirt is something I got from because they asking in the chat. Your shirt? In the chat, they asking about it. This is the second time that I've worn it, and you guys love this one. I actually got this from a store called, because y'all know I'm very, even though y'all might see me rocking some YSL stuff or whatever, I told you I love the thrift store.
You see, I can't tell brands. I thought I was like, is that Versace? Is that Louis Vuitton? And y'all like, it's YSL.
Saint Laurent. But I got this from a store. I was very poor when I moved here. And I got this from a store called DD's that I discovered when I got it. DD's Discount is actually one of my favorite stores to go to.
That's Gwen's store.
because this and it's really ghetto in there. And I love to go there because they fight each other. They fight each other over like, you know, being in long lines. But I went over there and I didn't have no money, but I was going out and and this was back in 2015, y'all. So this shirt been rolling with me, honey. And I got this for, I think I was going out to the Lauryn Hill concert. And I got this for $3.99.
Was she on time?
$3.99. As you guys can see, it's a see-through mesh joint. And she was, it was a great show. So don't even come in the comment section about her because I love her and I don't play about her. But
it's about $5
and I rocked it there because I wanted to have that, you know, like I love color and I wanted to have something that looked like money but didn't cost nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I went, and DD's is to this day.
I wouldn't know that you got that from a discount store.
Yeah, I definitely got this from a discount store. To this day, DD's is still my type of store, and I love it. And if you guys have a local DD's in your area, they sometimes sell brand too, like whatever. All those shirts that you see that I wear with wrappers on them, things like that, I get them for like $2.99 in the men's section. I go there, you know, I love my graphic tees. And then like little dresses and stuff, I'll wear them and I mix and match it with my brands and my off brands or whatever I got from the thrift store for 25-cent Thursdays. You know, you got to do what works for you. So thank you guys for liking my top today.
It looks amazing, Rebecca. It looks great. The DD's discount.
DD's discount.
All right, we're not
giving them
free advertisement. Y'all go run us our endorsement check. Anyway.
Right.
Because she just gave y'all a hell of a commercial right there.
My bad.
Get some good promo from them.
We get not a dime. Anyway, we out here paying these bills by ourselves. DD's run us some. No, anyway, for real. So we're gonna get ready to go to the after party. We got a whole lot more stories. We're gonna talk about Naomi Osaka in the after party. We got some other clips that we want to talk about. But that said, James, we're gonna turn it over to you, and you could do, if you want to take us out with some music and read the new patrons, or you want to read whatever you want to do, because we still just getting used to the new format. Thanks. Shout out to David. Everybody give a big round of applause. Put some lions in the chat.
Lions down
because David is holding it down while Dwayne is away, and it's we look great today, and things were pretty damn smooth.
Right? Dwayne watching like, that's David. Take my spot. Dwayne looking like,
David think you're gonna take my shine? Okay.
Dwayne gonna send a virus to shut David's computer down. Oh man, no, but that's it. Listen, if you want access to the after party, patreon.com/like it or not, you get access to it. If you are already a Benjamin Dixon Show patron, you already have access to it. Y'all can stay over there with Ben, because listen, quiet as it's kept. As many people, I'll say this, and we'll talk about it a little bit in the after party. As many people like to say, "Oh, we are, Ben Dixon is taking money from here, taking money. He's funded by XYZ." Nah, we're funded by our patrons,
by you,
and the occasional. Me. You were funded by me. Well,
I wasn't saying you, Ben. I was talking about people, but we are. But me and Bubba are funded by Benjamin Dixon.
and I'm funded, and I'm funded by our patrons and the occasional viral video that I might get. I can show all of my receipts, every place that I've ever taken money from. Can your favorite do the same? I digress. I'm not going to get petty in the public show. I'll get petty in the after show. You have to pay for that on patreon.com/like it or not. James, it's in your hands.
See you in a few.
Hey,
I'm about to go eat this burger once. I'm
about to go get some ice.
David,
get us off screen.
All right, y'all. Shout out to everybody that joined. We greatly appreciate y'all. Good morning, mama and daddy. Love y'all so much. Get a couple of these super chats read real fast. All right, let's see. Taj Snoopy, they want us to forget or not know the history at all. So when the time is right, they will attack us again. 100 stars said, thank you, Taj. Fastest Killer on Twitch. Is there documentation or film on any black revolutionaries of the 50s and 60s talking about the Tulsa Massacre and other people not believing them? Fastest Killer, I know that there was a document that just came on over the weekend, I think on the History Channel. I'll see if I can find that link and I'll drop it in there, okay? Tiger said roots literally took place where I live, Spotsylvania, but it's not taught here in schools. But they sure have those Confederate statue signs up. Yep, that's about right. Latif, this knowledge is priceless, but this platform costs to maintain. Thanks for Jews this pride. We appreciate you, Latif. Shout out to Teaser that just sent a super chat. And brother Latif sent another one. Big ups to David for holding it down. Hey man, we greatly appreciate y'all. The last one I get, actually, this is funny. Ted Cruz wears one-piece pajamas with the feet on them. Capital Mall Records, you're a fool. From Twitch, hey, here we go. Jam Tomb, Rebecca, do not ever blaspheme the vagina by comparing it to that man again. He is an anus. The vagina is the neck, is the vajayjay. I can't stand y'all, man. We greatly appreciate y'all super chats for everybody. Y'all, like we said, we're gonna get this thing together and we'll have it better tomorrow. Y'all keep it locked, man. Make sure that you join the Patreon, patreon.com/likeitordnot, patreon.com/likeitordnot. Oh man, and I forgot. Got to get the new patrons read too. We'll switch up the song. We'll get those read.
Sometimes they hurt. I stay high when bullets fly. Out of reach, won't be coming down. I can't wait till it's over. I can't wait till it ends. I'm gonna take on your shoulder, and I don't need to pretend. Yeah, we are alright.
All right, our new patrons for over the weekend.
When I get you back, oh yeah.
New patrons. We have Danielle LGBTQ. We have Rashida C. We have Angie L. DG. New Twitch subscribers. T-Brand 2725. X King Static X subscribe with Prime. Furgenic subscribe with Prime. The Chicken Fried Dragon. Shout out Chicken Fried Dragon. Gifted 4 subscriptions. Lucy Winter Wolf. Rated on Friday with a party of 11. Shout out to you, Lucy. Man, yeah, make sure that y'all tell your friends, family, everybody, y'all come check us out, okay? And lastly, Jamal Seto shared 100 bits. We greatly appreciate y'all, man. Make sure that y'all join Like It or Not. It's going down every morning. Make sure that you join the Patreon. Patreon.com/likeitordnot. Patreon.com/likeitordnot, y'all. Let's get into the after party.
When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. When I get you back, oh yeah. Ooh, when I get you back, oh yeah. Cause I don't wanna lose you. I hope you feel that way too. No, I don't wanna lose you. Baby, don't go. Oh, when I get you back, oh yeah. I promise you'll never leave me. When it comes to you and me, there's no one else I'd rather be with. When I get you back, oh yeah.